everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles halftime show by Wulf and Devon Givens. After a very interesting first half, we are here live from the Xfinity Lounge. We're presented by Bet365 and Ashley. And Devon, the Eagles, all of a sudden in a very interesting situation because the Lions are up 13-0 on the Bears at halftime. And so if that holds up, the Eagles could get the number 2 seed with a win. But they have blown 2 red zone trips, including a Tanner McKee interception at the end of the half after an awesome interception by Jalix Hunt. And now you have to wonder, do you think about putting in some of the good guys in the second half?
Bring Devontae Smith back. You saw Reed Blankenship put his helmet on. He wanted to get out there at one point. Do you think about it? No, Bo, at halftime right now, 10-7 is the score in favor of Washington. They should not be down 10-7 at halftime to this football team. They could still come out here in the second half and regain the lead, win this football game, but they got to clean up on some of these mistakes that they've made. And one being the one that happened right before halftime with Darius Cooper celebrating. It was light. Should not have been called for a flag.
I hate that call, but I guess you can't do that.
Right. They call it all season, but again, self-inflicted wounds.
I don't know if they've called it all season. They called it in week 1. And then they sort of stopped calling it.
Self-inflicted wounds here, though. When you are already in a position where...
pawing at the ball, like, that's goes both ways. I get it.
But he puts the spin on it.
I get it.
He puts the spin on it. You know what? Don't allow them to make that call. So when I look at it, though, I see it as they should still win this football game. My only issue was, as we'll talk about some of these things, where when you see what's happening, maybe they're not scoreboard watching like we are, but when you are playing your backups and you're not running up and down the field as easily as you hope you are, take the points. And I get 4th and 1 on certain situations. At that spot, I would have personally taken the points just because I felt like they needed some points on the board with some backups there on the field. Take what's given to you. Do what you can control. Handle what you can handle in this game. Control what you can control and win the football game. Let things play out the way that they need to in Chicago. Then, right now, it would be 10-10 maybe, or you might be 10-7 in favor of you because they have the full length of the field to come down to. So these two things there that don't work out for them in the first half has the Eagles down at this point.
So the first failed red zone possession, when it's 3rd and 1, there will be people who say, why are you in shotgun on 3rd and 4th down? And I do think it's fair to say, if you are planning to go for it on 4th down, you probably should run it on 3rd down. You don't need to pass twice.
Yeah.
If you're going to only go for it once, then you probably pass on 3rd down and then take the points. So those two sides, those two play calls, not necessarily talking to each other. And then on the turnover, after the awesome play by Jalix Hunt, and by the way, 3 interceptions for an edge guy. I looked it up. I don't believe there's been an edge guy as far as at least True Media goes back who's had more than 1 interception in a season. So Jalix Hunt, a spectacular year on that front. But the interception after the Cooper penalty, I think some speculation that maybe Jahan Dotson did not run the right route there because otherwise those routes don't necessarily make sense. Maybe he's supposed to run a dig, but I guess we can maybe do some reporting on that after the fact. Still a bad throw by Tanner McKee to put that in harm's way. And then they give up a 56-yarder by Jake Moody at the end of the half, which seems, that's tough, but he also missed a chippy earlier in the game. So 10-7 seems fair from that standpoint. On the course of the half, Tanner McKee, 10 of 16 for 148 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I think we'd like to see some more Tank Bigsby, 6 carries for 30 yards, plus he had the 31-yard catch and run. The defense, though, though they have only let up 10 points, the Commanders have moved the ball.
They've walked them down the field twice. Yeah, they have. They walked them down the field pretty easily twice. And Johnson is not using his legs either. He only did so on that last play to get them in field goal range at the end of the half. He's not been using his legs. It's been his throws to Samuel and McLaurin and some of the runs from Rodriguez as well. They've been walked again up and down that field 2 times. And that, look, I thought they got enough pressure on them. They just can't bring them down when they get that back there in the end. And then when you still do have 2 all-pro level type of receivers, they're going to get open. And you're playing against Jacorian Bennett is a big topic of conversation right now in the chat, and rightfully so, because he has not been good. So they have to do a much better job in the second half of trying to get him uncomfortable, get him off his spot there in the pocket, and bring him down when you get there as well. Jahai Campbell had one where he did whiff on an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, for one to bring him down. So if they can if they can get him off the field, I think the Eagles still have a pretty good chance in the second half.
I see a comment which is fair, which is the irony being that the Eagles throw an interception at the end of the first half when they were trying to be aggressive at the end of the half for once, which is true. Although they did do that second down run just to run play, run clock. But that is a very funny twist of fate for the Eagles. Okay, time for a very quick break to hear from our sponsors, and then back with a little bit more discussion before we send you off to the second half. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That right there is the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, and Wi-Fi that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online and all of your devices are working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
And after the holidays, you took care of everyone else in your family and you spent all that money on them. It's time for you to treat yourself, and that is with the good people at Elkins Chevrolet. Drive in style to the playoff games. Hopefully there's 2 of them for you, maybe even 3, but you want to drive in style and you have to get your vehicle at Elkins Chevrolet, run by 3 brothers, real brothers, and big Eagles fans this holiday season. They're making sure you get a deal that will feel just as good as the win. It jumps from the holiday season into 2026. They've got a big inventory of Chevy trucks and SUVs. There's no better time to grab one at the price that simply won't last, whether it's getting to the game, as we talked about, to work, or just hitting the road. In general, you'll roll into the new year as you have and continue to do so in the perfect ride at the perfect price. Elkins Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Elkins Chevrolet, Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. Shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Should note that the Rams are also beating the Cardinals 16-6 at halftime. So if that holds up, if the Eagles are not able to secure the 2 seed, that would mean the San Francisco 49ers coming to the Link next weekend. The Commanders will get the ball to start the second half here. Devon, what would you like to see from the defense?
Another reason why I wanted them to take the points late in that first half. From the defense, again, just put more pressure on Johnson and bring him down. The coverage right now in the secondary, you're going against McLaurin and Samuel. It's going to be tough against backups.
And we should note that Brandon Johnson left this game and has not returned at safety, which has forced Michael Carter to go from the nickel to the other safety spot. And Mac McWilliams, who the Eagles very clearly did not want to be on the field, is now your nickel.
Yes. So if you can, again, get them off their spots, put more pressure on Johnson, I think that will take care of itself when it comes to the things that happen down the field. You saw a good read once again from Jalix Hunt that Bo talked about on that great interception. You can get a little bit more of that in the second half, I believe, as far as turnovers go, if you put pressure on Johnson. And I think they should be able to still go into the halftime, game plan adjusted, and do exactly that. Put pressure on Johnson where it's not as easy for him to sit back there in the pocket.
All right. How do you see it playing out? You think the Eagles are able to get the win in this game?
I think it's a close win. I do think it's a close win. And if things hold in Chicago, Jake Bates did miss a field goal. Going into halftime to put up 16-0. But if they're able to hold on, then we're talking about the number 2 seed for the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers coming into town.
All right. Well, we look forward to talking to you afterwards. We'll find out what happens. Join us for the post-game show right here on PHLY in the Xfinity Lounge. For Lindsay and Devon, we thank you for watching. Enjoy the second half. Say hello to Reed, everybody. Thanks for joining us in the chat, Reed. We'll talk to you later. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.